forcetbr.com and put your hands together if you're ready for the revolution. Boots Riley and Poppy Liu are here.
Yeah!
Let's go.
All right, everybody, let's get real about outfits. Whose outfit did you want to boost the most?
I like the outfit that Kiki wears during the interview scene.
Yes. It's
It's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's all Anna Sui, right? Head to toe.
oh, I don't know.
It's
I
so
don't know
good.
Yeah.
No, because I think I heard Shirley and Lizzie talking about it. They're like, we're really glad that the Anna Sui look made it in.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I called it the Madeline look.
I'm just glad that you got a full body shot of it. And not just her sitting, like when she's walking in, you really see, because like the socks and the shoes. Wow.
Yeah.
How, I have so many questions about like the production of it, because just that shot of her face in that outfit when the racks of clothes
Yeah.
are moving away, how'd you achieve that?
Yeah, well, we also need to bring for this discussion our cinematographer,
Yes!
Natasha Braier.
Yeah!
Oh, we're about to get nerdy, y'all. It's gonna be good.
I'm
You can-
underdressed.
You look
Coming to see
perfect.
you guys.
So we had to do a lot of trial and error beforehand to figure out how to get the, we had tried at first to do it while it was moving as a Zolly shot, which is the zoom and the camera dollying toward her at the same time, but then that was making us lose a lot of lateral motion, so we split it up into two, but I mean,
Yeah, we first I think we tried. We had the dolly. We were doing the dolly, right? That we wanted to do, but we also want her to move in the space. So we have like the typical dolly, which is a dolly that is counteracting the zoom, and that was riding another big dolly, like a big platform. That was
the
also
dolly on a dolly.
Oh, dolly on a
Hat
dolly.
on a hat.
Yeah, and so we made some tests when we were doing like hair makeup tests and stuff, and it was just like a lot of vibration was just too much because you have two humans. You have the human that is pushing the dolly inside the big platform, and the other human that is pushing the other dolly. So we ended up having a slider. The motorized, we tested with a slider, so we reduced one human, not because we wanted to get rid of humans and replace them with AI or anything, but to reduce vibration. So we had the slider, the motorized
And also
slider.
we had a lot more limited space than we thought we might have.
Yes,
So
that's
that
true. That's true. There was not space for the person to walk. So yeah, everything was like, we had all these kind of like crazy big ideas, and we had to find always the way to make it work. So it was a little bit trial and error, and we always found some amazing ways.
Because originally, one of the ideas was to have it not only, the racks not only move behind her, but like in front of her. So it would have been like some other little version of the racks going in front of her at the same time. We just didn't have enough people and enough, but.
And also
was
there
so
was walls
perfect.
in the location. So
Yeah.
we when we were bringing the racks out, there was a wall, so they were physically gonna crash with the wall. So we had to also test like different sizes of racks so that we could pull them out and they could get out of frame. It was like a lot of mathematics involved.
What we need to do is have an opportunity to break everything down scene by scene, because what you're describing is such a labor of love, and this is a 2-hour movie filled
Of
with
course, the discussions for all of these things, because there were a lot of little things like that throughout the whole movie that were like, this is gonna take too much time, this is like, why are we doing all of that? And we pushed for most, I think we got them almost all.
good.
Exactly.
We have everything except the top shot that we love.
Yeah, yeah.
One day we'll do it.
There was gonna be when they're destroying the racks of clothes in backstage, where the MC5 comes on, there was gonna be this top shot that looked like Dig Dug, We didn't get to do that.
Poppy, what was the device like? Because I feel like you held it the most. Was it heavy? What was the deal with it? Do you still have it? Please say yes.
And which it was like it definitely had some weight to it. But the funny thing is that like all the VFX and stuff is added way later, and so I'm always like it was very a trust the process kind of film where Boots would be like, okay, so check it out. So it's shooting out a liquid, and we're like, okay, but like, is it a lot? And he's like, just try some stuff. And so, so like, I think we're all like, I think if you really, really pay attention in the shots, we all have a kind of a different physical relationship with the device because we all had different interpretations of what it was. I think like, I really noticed when we're like at the runway, the back shots of me and Kiki sort of just like, and I'm literally like.
I just took it as that's Jung Hoo's personality.
Yeah. It was actually just Poppy making up like a kind of call on what but yeah, I mean, I agree. Like she'd be like really throwing her back into it like that.
Yeah, it happened.
Like how some people play the guitar. When I first found out that electric guitar, like that they're not hitting it hard, that it's just the distortion.
That's performance.
I was like, but then some people still are like,
the theatrics. Joe was doing theatrics. Yeah, it was like, so I guess what I'm trying to say is it was a character choice.
It was absolutely brilliant. I bet y'all have a lot of questions out there. I know I have a ton written down, but anybody burning questions? Because otherwise I'm going to keep going. Oh, right there.
Are you like, I guess like just begin this stuff, like write something like this, like the ideas of it, and just like
Great question.
you were having stop motion, that's like crazy in itself. Like just like how do you start like with a concept like this,
little by little. Well, I start with the group of characters that I want to talk about, and then think about what I think about the world around them and how that world fits into the larger world. I did write a song called I Love Boosters 20 years ago, and kind of takes up, it deals with a lot of the same things, and this is not really based on the song, the movie, but they're both made for the same reason, right? So I was thinking a lot about, like, I'm trying to figure out the long or short version, but I was thinking a lot about fabric and things and how things are not just made of things, they're made of people's time. And I was thinking about boosters who distribute it in different ways, and boosters aren't outside of capitalism. They're like part of it, right? It's even though it's illegal, it's just as moral as a lot of the legal stuff that's going on. So I was thinking about that. I originally was like a bunch of boosters find a teleporter. So I had a lot of the same concepts in it, but I wrote it up to the teleporter part, and I felt like I really got bored. I was like, oh, this is not exciting. And I put it to the side, and I finished writing I'm a Virgo, and then I finished writing 2 other scripts that I've sold since then.
Yes.
And then I was thinking about science fiction and how science fiction has changed our notion of just our very notion of existence. So for instance, there is no such thing as time, right? There's only right now. Like everything in history, everything from yesterday is just a memory or whatever we have right now that tells us about yesterday. It doesn't exist, and the future is just in our imagination, hasn't happened yet. It's just us thinking about it in our imagination. So no such thing as time, there is only now. Now that's scientifically empirically provable. It's science. But when I say it, I sound like a hippie. And the reason is science fiction, right? Because science fiction has us thinking about time in this way that it is there and it exists. And maybe, because we don't call it fantasy when we talk about going back in time. We call it science fiction, as if it's possible, as if it's just that we have it, that in 1,000 or 2,000 years we'll invent it. So it changes our notion of where we are in the universe and what's happening right now. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm not against mythology or people believing bullshit. Because that sometimes helps us with things, right? That's fine. But I was like, well, what if I put a philosophy that I actually use into the device? And then that's when I thought about putting dialectical materialism into the that it operates off of those theories as opposed to just these other, fantasy theories. And then I got excited and couldn't stop writing it. So that's like the long and the gist of it. But in reality, it's from waking up at 5:30 in the morning and writing from 6 to 10 and stopping if I haven't come up with anything and just coming back the next day.
Is that 10 p.m.?
No, 4 hours.
Got it.
4 hours.
Listen, it could be either with you, I think.
No, because you get burnt out and you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't come up with anything. No.
Sure. Is the spirit of these characters real? Did they come from real boosters, you know? She's a cinematographer, she doesn't sit. Do you know any? That's what we're doing now. This is the thing. So, do you know these people in real life? Were these inspired by boosters you know?
So when I write, I'm usually writing an amalgamation of people I know, and it's some of it is subconscious, some of it is. It's like a dream, like there's all these people changing throughout the time, like you think you're talking to your father, but then it's, I don't know, it's Denzel or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, it's an amalgamation of people I know. And then when I also am putting myself in there. As I'm writing dialogue, I'm writing as if I am someone with all of these differences to my situation, and what would I say? So that's why everybody, including the villains, are saying things I would say.
What's funny is that they actually still feel like they have different voices.
Oh, yeah.
So that means
Well,
you
so
can
that's
take
the
multitudes.
beginning part of it. Yeah. I'm definitely. I have a lot of personalities inside, or a lot of contradictions, right? So there's different sides of me, but separately, then the actors come. Then I'm giving also going back over it, giving other differences, things like that. But then the actors come, and they have their own experiences in life, and talk about those things and what they would want to put in there, what they can relate to, because I also want a certain kind of performance style, right? Where people are able to be in a certain emotion as opposed to just being like, do I look like I'm having this emotion,
Living it.
And so it has to be people that have been through stuff, people that are interesting, people that are, like Poppy's a doula. So
Yeah, Poppy, you're hella interesting.
She hasn't just been like only trying to be an actor, hasn't just, doing all that. I feel like.
Well, we were just saying on the way here that, like, Boots was like, oh yeah, like someone on like Twitter or whatever has like somehow like found all of your past things, and I was like, yeah, I had so many side quests. Like this is, I don't know, it's kind of a miracle that this is the one that happened. Like there was like doula, could have been a midwife. There's a time where I was like, I wanted to do like, I wanted to like gather children's fairy tales in my dad's hometown in northern China and build a puppet show off of it. I was like looking for grants for that.
Oh, keep looking.
Yeah.
That's
I was, like,
awesome.
a dog for 2 years in
Yeah.
New York, down in training, I know. But yeah.
Uh-oh, we need a whole other Q&A for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on WikiFeed for like over a decade. I've been on WikiFeed way longer than I worked in Hollywood. And actually, the thing I want to say is, I don't know why it's a 4.7 out of 5 stars. What's missing? If you care about me or this movie at all, please go on Wikipedia. 5 stars. It's like, what's the deal? They're pretty good.
I now know what WikiFeed is.
You're probably on Wikipedia too.
It's so informative. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I know there's a lot of deep symbolism, a lot of imagery in this movie, which I love. What do you, because I kind of have a hunch, but what would you say, and like, there's probably many interpretations, but what would you say, like, the skinless people, like, who do they represent? What do they represent? I feel like there was a lot of layers to that. I mean,
So skinless people we're asking about.
So, I mean, first I was just thinking about how clothes kind of are like a very big part of our identity, right? From either this is how unique I am and this is the way I'm unique to this is the tribe I'm in, or this is my sexuality, or any number of things. And so I was just thinking, what's the next level of fashion, right? In terms of identity. So I was thinking about that, but then also I was thinking about just also encountering a lot of bots and things like that. So that there is like a real world version of it, and just just actually that about how think tanks are like using using regular media and social media, and usually the idea is to make you feel like you're the most radical person in the room. Right? You're the most radical person. So that way you mitigate what you think is possible. The news has done that for many years, right? So when the coup had this album cover that was that had the World Trade Centers exploding. We had it before 9/11, and it was exploding because of our music, the bass tuner and conductor's wands. But I got myself into a long story, but this is short. Long and short of it is, I had band members that wouldn't go on tour with me because of it, because they knew that we were going on this MTV tour where it wasn't the coup, it wasn't our crowd, it was a Lincoln Park associated crowd, and they were like, this is like right after 9/11. They're like, dude, you're going all over Fox News speaking out against the bombing of Afghanistan, and we know you're gonna do that on stage, so we don't wanna get shot, right? And so I had to get subs for some of the band, and everywhere I went, and even in the Bay Area, which is supposed to be like so radical, I was in conversations where people would be gathered in spaces and people would be like, yeah, we just need to nuke Afghanistan. Everybody's like, nodding. And then when I said something, everybody would be like agreeing with me. So they were being silent, thinking that that's what everybody else thought. So then when we went on this tour, at every show, and we were going to places like Montana, Utah, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, all these places. And every show I would stop the music and say to the packed crowd that there should be no, I'd say a longer speech, but then which ended with, there should be no war for oil in our name. And it was always ovations, right? People going, taking a second and then erupting. And the only and the point is that these were places where on the news they just showed American flags, and which meant like let's bomb them. But the truth is that people weren't down for it, but everyone thought everyone else was. And so people didn't want to speak up because their idea of what could happen was mitigated by what they thought everyone else thought. And so anyway, the media has been about doing that for a long time. So it's just kind of analogous to things that are happening, but also it's her actually taking fashion and that idea of it being associated with identity to another level.
What would you say is your number one favorite thing visually that you did with this movie that is a first for you?
It's so hard because
There's so many.
It's so many.
Yeah.
Every day we were doing something very challenging and very exciting and amazing, and people ask me like, what's your favorite thing? And I truly don't know. Like every scene has something that I love, and it's just very hard to do.
So all of it. That's a good answer. That's perfect. Do we have anybody up? Oh, right there.
My name is Kijana Marquis. I'm a leader, visionary, and pioneer. So oftentimes in life or just in any industry, when you bring new ideas, at first people tend to reject it just because it's unfamiliar or uncomfortable. So I was wondering what method you use to kind of make people feel comfortable or see the vision. Also, was there any inspiration from the Bible, from Pharaoh releasing God's people and the Red Sea? If it was conscious, how does that story correlate with science?
I don't know. What are you saying? As taking the second thing first, you said you feel like in the movie there was something that might have correlated to that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was subconscious or not intentional, but I don't know if you know any stories from the Bible.
That one is kind of around a lot, so I do know that one. But no, it wasn't intentional. Do you mean how the crowd was in two spaces and there was a rainbow thing going?
In the water, and then
Yeah.
they were trying to get the workers to get paid more and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't conscious, but what that kind of goes to show is that these stories of struggle and people becoming free from their oppressors have been around for a long time. But how I get the ideas across is, the script is the main document, right? So my scripts are often accused of being very dense because I'm describing what it looks like and all sorts of things, because sometimes it's like, how are we gonna do this? And I have to put that in the script, and like, here's why it'll be cheaper than you think. Like those sorts of things. I also have to keep it reading okay though too, so.
Wait, I feel like there was one like parenthetical in the script that was like, don't worry, I'm gonna pay for this day out of pocket.
That was in there, yeah, and to Leon's credit, they went and paid for it. But yeah, so a lot of it is just, you know what, I can't figure out all I gotta do is I gotta make it awesome to myself, right? I gotta make sure, and I know that the things that I like, I'm not like, I haven't seen an Ozu film. I'm supposed to, but I haven't seen like some of the more obscure stuff. My tastes are very pop, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm trying to push limits, I still have a sensibility in me about it working, about it singing, like art for, we have a song, for instance, called 5 Million Ways to Kill a CEO. It's a catchy chorus. Like I'm not like, people gonna get it if they get it. I'm trying to make it be something that people get. But at the same time, it's 9:17 count, right? which is hidden by a 4 on the floor because it just keeps boom, boom, so you don't notice where it's. So those are the things that I'm doing. I'm pushing the limits, but I also have a sense of rhythm, things like that. So it's, I don't know, like when I'm writing it, I just think that it's awesome. It's not like I'm thinking it is new. I know that it's new, but it's like, it's new and it's good. So I think that's like where it goes. And then I'm also, I send around the score with it. Like people, like, you read this and you gotta listen to this score on loop, right? While you read it. And then there's, sometimes like there was a storyboard for the chase scene because I knew that was gonna be a question, things like that. So any number of things. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how I'm looking for something to still, even though they're new, I'm looking for it to feel exciting. I'm thinking about pacing as I'm writing it because the things that I'm into, like I said, are very much, I grew up on the big movies, big tentpole things. So I have a lot of those same things, and I'm looking for, the new things I'm doing are trying to give you those same kind of feelings. So I think that's part of how it sells.
And I hear in what you're saying that you're always looking, and that's part of it, I think, is that when you have something that you want to share, that you want to get out there, you got to keep searching for it, and you got to keep sharing it in all kinds of different ways. And if you haven't seen Sorry to Bother You, that's a different way of saying something else.
And so, yeah, that's the thing. So some of this stuff obviously is transgressive, right? But I think that's because I think that part of it works. I think that part that, pushes you away, if there's something else compelling you, then it seems even more addicting, right? Because it's not just pushing you away. Like there are some things that I don't want to see that I've seen on movies, and I'm like, I can't watch that, But I'm trying to have it repel you and compel you at the same time.
So I have to rip us away from each other now because time is a thing on this planet. And what I will say, what I will say is that there is so much more fascinating content about this movie online. When you look on YouTube, you did an interview with The Daily Show. There's everybody that's impressed for the movie. It's so great. So make sure you look it up, but also make sure that you post and share about this movie this weekend. Yeah. Because you have amazing taste, and now you need to go spread it. Spread it to everybody. Thank you for being here. Go on, WikiFeed.
What's the thing you were saying you wanted to say?
I think I said it.
Okay, we'll go on there. So here's the other thing, is that just expanding on what she was saying, or expounding. Well, anyway, with Sorry to Bother You, we got to roll it out over a long period of time. We rolled it out over like the whole summer. We're not going to get to do that with this. We need people in the theaters like you are this weekend. And so if you like this, I need you to post about it on every platform that you can, as much as possible, until your family calls you and asks you if everything's okay. Right? I need you to tell people in real life. Like if you're at a cafe or something, a good thing to do is like take your phone out and show people the trailer. I mean, you can make friends that way.
Make them wear wigs.
Make them wear wigs. We all have access to different kinds of niches. So like, not to bring it back to WikiFeed, but like, I commented on everybody's feed, being like, have you seen Boosters? And then the WikiFeed community is out here, probably billion strong, I feel like deep in some like subreddit community. Yeah. Are you into fanfic sites? Great.
Only fans.
I see you all with your hands out.
Okay.
You might end up with a date. The movie again. Yeah, exactly.
And maybe you're gonna
once they see the Lakeith scene, who knows what happens.
Put your hands together for Poppy Liu and Natasha.